The Elements Massage brand believes massage therapists deserve a supportive team, business and marketing resources, linens, lotions, and the chance to learn as much as they want. So many Elements Massage studios offer continuing education too. What's better? They're hiring. To get your foot in the door, let them know we sent you by visiting elementsmassage.com/ABMP. That's elementsmassage.com/ABMP. As a massage therapist, you know that truly the world's most beautiful machine is in your hands. You help relieve the pain and pressures that hold your clients back from fully enjoying life. The CBD Clinic Massage Collection uses ingredients from nature to deliver strong, effective temporary pain relief with aromatic botanicals and natural emollients like CBD. Our tiered pain products let you personalize your massage to meet each client's needs. Be your client's hero by giving them the massage treatment of their dreams with CBD Clinic. Learn more at cbdclinic.co.
Welcome to the ABMP podcast. My name is Darren Buford, and I'm editor-in-chief of Massage and Bodywork magazine and senior director of communications for ABMP.
And I'm Kristen Coverly, licensed massage therapist and ABMP's director of professional education.
Our guest today is Ella Cressman. Ella is a licensed esthetician, certified organic formulator, business owner, and ingredient junkie. As an educator, she enjoys empowering other estheticians and industry professionals to understand skincare from an ingredient standpoint rather than a product-specific view. In addition to running a skincare business, Ella founded a comprehensive consulting group, the HHP Collective, and has consulted for skincare lines, including several successful CBD brands. For more information, visit ellacress.com. Hello, Ella, and hello, Kristen.
Hi, Darren. Hi, Kristen. How are you guys?
Great. We're excited to have you here, but hang on a minute, Darren. I did not hear the term massage therapy or massage therapist in that bio. What's going on?
You would be correct, listeners. We have decided today to invite one of our podcasters for our sister association, ASCP, Associated Skincare Professionals, Ella Cressman, to join our podcast because we thought it would be so cool for her to talk about the aesthetics world and how that relates to massage therapists. You're going to find out a little bit about her background here in just a second because she's worked with some massage therapists. And you're going to hear the delightful, soothing tones of her voice because she is the host of ASCP's SD Talk podcast as well. So let's jump right in.
Ooh, a crossover.
That's right.
Right?
Crossover.
Watch out. Everyone put your seatbelts on and buckle up. It's going to be a fun one. Let's start by introducing you to our listeners. So tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get into aesthetics?
Well, it's a fun story and I will save it for either coffee or cocktails sometime. But the longest story short is a blackhead changed my life. So we should start. I'll give the very short version. I wanted to be a cosmetologist, and that wasn't practical in my grandfather's eyes. So I changed and I wanted to go to nursing. And while I was pre-nursing, I was then getting my prerequisites. I worked in an Alzheimer's home and it was so emotional. I was like, I cannot do this. So I did the least emotional thing and I got a business degree. And so from that, I worked in industrial construction, and naturally the next course of action was into aesthetics. So from there, it's just been like my life purpose is completing. You know, I say completing as in present tense because it's so fun.
Oh, okay. I love it. Tell me, Ella, a little bit about the professional environments that you've worked in with regards to aesthetics.
In aesthetics, so I started out, as I mentioned, from working in industrial construction where I was getting paid to working in a booth in a salon, even in an upstairs of this cute little Victorian style building as a booth renter. So I was paying to work at that point. And it was right before the economic crash of 2008. It was a year or two before that. And so I learned how to hustle. I learned what it meant to build a business. After that, booth rented for a little bit, became an educator for a few brands. At the same time, became a certified organic formulator. And then ended up accidentally owning my own brick and mortar store and having practitioners work for me, either in a booth rent capacity or as employees. So a little bit of full circle. And along the way, also have the HHP Collective, which is a consulting firm. So I have my toes in a lot of bathwaters in the industry.
Yeah. And there are so many future pods I'm feeling just from that one answer alone. We have a lot to talk about.
Teasers.
Yeah, exactly. So question though for you, and one of the reasons we are having you as a guest here on the ABMP podcast, working in all those environments, you've worked with massage therapists in many different settings. Tell us a little bit about things that you might have noticed that are differences in how estes work versus massage therapists.
It's hard to put anybody in a box, really. And my interaction with massage therapists has been, it seems like when I was in sales, for example, when I was in sales, a lot of the spa directors were actually massage therapists. So I had a lot of interaction with them in that capacity. And then when I was in education, especially when I got into the CBD side, because I've been in the CBD space since the dawning of time, or 2014. And that was such a fun time to be able to build those programs, to build those education programs, and then to convey them personally to practitioners. And so I've been around practitioners, and then also, having friends. I'm also a client. I'm not just an educator. I'm also a massage therapist client. So, and having friends and such. So I've been around them in different capacities. And one thing I noticed that's a similarity is that there's specialties in each. And also, in both sides, there's also similar fears, I'll say fears or challenges, because you have all capacities in massage. For example, you have sports massage, prenatal massage, you have Reiki body work, you have pelvic floor. There's just, the gamut. And in aesthetics, it's similar. We have so many different things, different areas of specialty. And then we also have employees or self-employees, so it's similar, very similar. We're cousins.
Yeah, that's what I think of it too. I always call them our peers in the skincare profession, right? There are so many, it's same, but different, so many similarities.
But a lot of them are dual licensed too. A lot of estheticians are dual licensed massage therapists. And so there is, again, a crossover, if you will, but it's all similar in intent, if you think about it, in that when I used to teach in schools, for example, and I would always ask the question of students. It's my favorite thing because it seemed to be like 3 answers, but it's like, what made you want to get into this? And the answer inevitably was one of 3. And the first one was, I wanted to help people. And so that's a parallel between massage and aesthetics, is this desire to help or to heal or to make people feel better.
Absolutely.
That is a perfect segue to our next question. So Ella, a lot of massage therapists self-identify in their work. Not all, some, I'm saying some, so listeners don't jump at me. Some identify with a healer mentality. And as a result, they have conflicting feelings sometimes between healing and working with their clientele and then the business side of things. How do estheticians self-identify when they kind of reflect on their work?
Well, as the representative for all estheticians, I can say, no, I'm just teasing. I think it's very similar. We want to help, we want to heal. And the business side is intimidating. I say this as someone with a business degree. It's intimidating when you think about, all I want to do is I want to be in my room and I want to be lotioning and potioning and making people feel better. The last thing I want to do is be paying retail sales tax, or making a social media post personally. And similar, I can imagine with massage therapists, they want to be healing with their hands and working on bodies, doing their body work rather than, making a marketing strategy. And so that makes sense. And to think about business, so that's a big thing. There's so many things in the business side. To take some pressure off, I always suggest delegate or outsource those things. If you look at my social media, you can see that I had delegated my social media for a while, and that person ended up having to take another job. And you can see that's where it stopped. It was about May 2021 is where my social media posts stopped. And I had a decision to make. Do I do it? Which, it's going to change because I'll have someone else do it. Do I do it? And do I spend the time making the posts, or do I spend the time in my treatment room or writing content? What am I going to spend my energy on? And so there's some things like accounting or bookkeeping you outsource. And it's not that much when you think about it. It sounds intimidating, especially as a self-employed person. Like that's a lot of money, but it's money well spent. Trust. So get a good accountant, get a good bookkeeper or a bookkeeping software. There's software for so many things, including social media. I just haven't put the time into that. You can set it up to where they just, are scheduled postings and such. So outsource, I think, for those things that are uncomfortable, or delegate for those things that you don't want to do. And you spend as much time in your room as possible,
Let's take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors. Anatomy Trains is delighted to announce a brand new dissection livestream specialty class on September 18th, Lumbopelvic Stability, a one-day layered dissection with Anatomy Trains author Tom Myers and master dissector Todd Garcia. The early bird price of $150 is held until September 10th. After September 10th, the price is $250. Come see the body's actual core for yourself. This course will be provided over Zoom webinar with multiple camera views, live chat, and Q&A. Visit anatomytrains.com to sign up. Now let's get back to the podcast. Ella, time out before we dive deeper. You paid someone to do your social media. I know listeners just stopped whatever they were doing. How much did you pay? Where did you find the person? How often were they doing this for you?
Okay, so there's a lot of different organizations that you can use. I just happened to use a friend who was great at it, and he worked in the industry. So he was an esthetician. And he also had worked for me in the HHP Collective. So he knew my heart. He knew what I wanted to post. He knew what I wanted to convey. He's amazing. And I wish that he wanted to be a social media person, but he's an esthetician. And so I would pay him $50 an hour to make these posts. And they were once a week, I think on Wednesdays. But I know there's other organizations that you can do. I know he specifically worked with Canva to do some of those things. And I mean, maybe a quick Google search will work. Obviously, I haven't done that myself, or else my social media would be up to date. But stay tuned, check back and see how it's going. And previously, I had a receptionist who was doing my social media. So I paid her extra to do those things. And so that's something else you can look for. So see where you can combine tasks too, because maybe you don't have the workload for a receptionist. The calls aren't coming in or the emails aren't coming in, but what can a receptionist style person or a spa manager style person do, even part-time? So she was amazing as well. She was doing my social media. She was doing my inventory management. She was going through my emails, like all those little tasks that's like feel heavy and like shoulder heavy tasks she was doing, and she was doing for an hourly rate. It was a slightly above competitive for the market area, and money well spent. Money well spent for me, because I could concentrate on what I was doing, which was providing excellent care, which was part of my business strategy. And then that is my marketing. And we can talk about marketing and such, but it's my experience that the best marketing is word of mouth. I've tried everything. I've tried a lot of different things. So that's what I would concentrate on.
Let's talk about 3 important ways practitioners can increase income in their practices. First up, let's talk about rebooking. What are some tips and tricks? What's your favorite strategy for rebooking?
Rebooking is really going to depend on the kind of practice you have and then the needs of the client. So there's one simple phrase that goes with rebooking and also with retailing, and that is to find a hole and fill it. And so when you are looking at rebooking, you can think of it in a couple ways. So let's look at the first way. The first way is after you have an initial appointment or your first visit with your client patient, you want to understand what they're coming to you for, right? And then you're using that information, their lifestyle, all the things as you're working on them. And then when you're wrapping up and you're finalizing things, you want to instill this idea of teamwork. We are in this together. So you're going to give them homework and then offer them some tips. Here, you were talking about this area was sore, maybe your traps, maybe your quads. I want you to do these kind of stretches or stand up every so often. And then I'd like to see you back in X weeks. and throw that number off. Don't have it be 4, 8, or 12. Do 3, 5, 7, a number that sounds, whoa, there's a real intentional reason she said 3 or he said 7. What is that for? So have them, I'd like to see you back in that time. So that's strategy number 1. We're in this together and we're going to make you feel good because you told me you need this, right? This is your idea. I'm helping you get there. Another strategy, and it's again, reading your clientele. Clients, patients, they love exclusivity. They love an expert. They love what everyone else is having. And so when you're talking about exclusivity, and I learned this, it's a funny story how I learned this, but I learned this. So when you're exclusive, they want to get in. So saying something to the effect of, my schedule is, as you know, when you try to book, my schedule is very packed. It's very full. It's easier to adjust your appointment than it is to try to get in. So let's put you on for X amount of weeks. And if that doesn't work, we can tweak it, but at least you're in the queue. And so that's another touchback for rebooking. Those 2 seem to work really great for me. Another thing, you can also read the client and say, a lot of first-time clients, depending on the intention of when they come in, you have to understand I'm corrective. I'm not pampering. We are scraping. We are squeezing. We are burning. And so I'm not pampering, but I always get the question, how often should I get a facial? And I know that's a question that massage therapists get as well. How often should I get a massage? Because I've asked it. I've done a lot of research on this subject. So I'll tell you, the good answers that I've received are based on your blank, you should come in blank, right? And some generic answers I've gotten was like, well, I don't know, like some people come in seasonally or whenever you kind of feel like it, or, if you're in the area. So those are the gamut of explanation. And guess who I rebooked with? The person said, based on you and your needs, this is what I suggest. So
listeners, I had a massage on Sunday. And as you know, as a client host here, I often check in about the experience that I had. Guess what? There was no rebooking question. Do you know how many times this happens again and again? Instead, I'm actually going to be moving offices soon. So just wanted to give you a heads up. So if we work together again, it won't be at this location. Okay. So, if whenever you're ready, maybe just give me and shoot me a text or an email. No. On the flip side of this, I often talk about going to physical therapists because I think they're so good at doing this. And recently, during a session, the physical therapist said to me exactly what you're saying, Ella. He said, I can tell you really like homework. So here I'm going to give you this homework for you to check in and some exercises for you to stay in touch. And then we're going to make sure to get that booking for the next session. But we are really booked out right now. If you go up to the desk right now, even though you've got this ice pack on, and go talk to Betty at the desk, I bet she can get you in for that eval really quickly. I'm done. I'm totally sold on the whole situation. They got my homework, they got me caring, and they got me rebooking right there because I couldn't possibly wait 2 months to come back in.
You're compliant, right? You're doing it and you're following up and you're not missing that appointment because now they have instilled a value in that appointment for you.
Okay, Ella, what about retail sales? How can massage therapists get comfortable selling products?
Well, there's a quote that W. Clement Stone has, and I think it's very appropriate for this. It's sales are contingent upon the attitude of the salesman and not the attitude of the prospect. And I think in particular, this industry, I'm going to say this industry because it happens, this industry of personal services, I'll say, where massage therapists, estheticians, even hairstylists or other people, even the physical therapists that you mentioned, they don't always offer suggestive retail. And for one reason or another, I've heard the excuses because I've trained massage therapists and other people. I don't want to be a salesperson. I didn't get in this to be salesy. Okay. Another excuse is, well, if I give them something to use at home, why are they going to come back to me? Or, but they're not, I don't know if they can afford it. And I don't know, I don't want them to, all of those may have different words, but they're all conveying fear of your own personal fear, not fear from the client. You can see, especially in massage therapy in 2020, what a hard hit that was on that industry. because you're only working when you're working on someone, right? You're having no passive income unless you're selling retail. Retail is an opportunity for passive income. That means you don't have to do a whole lot to get more of it. So retail, how can you get more comfortable? How can you not be comfortable? So it's going to start out with things that you believe in or that complement the service. If we're talking about, and that's going to depend again on the specialty, the area of specialty. I'll tell you a story about my massage therapist and I have a couple depending on what's going on with me, but I'm in her space and I'm changing and I'm looking as I'm hanging my clothes up, I'm looking that she has a very specific stone for a specific part of the body. And I come to find out that she specializes in pelvic health. And I'm like, oh, cool. And she sells the stones that help with that. Well, don't you know I bought one? I never used it. I haven't used it yet, but I sure did buy one. And it was $80. And it was on top of my other thing, And so there's retail there. There's other opportunities, same thing in my research and development here, going into massage clinics. And I'm like, I have a pain. What can I do at home? I walk out to the reception area. There is a device that I see that's like some kind of, I don't really know what it is. It looks like a back scratcher with wheels, or there's this roll on, like icy hot, so to speak. None of that was offered to me. I still got it. And your clients are still going to get that. They're still going to pick it up because if they're not feeling the relief after they leave, or if it's a Sunday at 5 p.m., they're going to go get something. Best they get it from you. Best you are the expert that is guiding that journey. And that thing can be anything related back. Again, find the hole and fill it. So a client comes in and they're stressed out. They just want to relax. This is the scenario. Great. You know what? I think that's awesome. I think that'll really help. I noticed that you have some tension in this area of your body. And have you thought about bath soaks? I think that would be really good for you. You're finding a hole and you're filling it. You're not saying, we have some really great bath soaks from this company and they're kind of local and you can get them if you want to. You're saying, you need this bath soak. You told me that you need this. Or, honestly, CBD infused products, easy. This is the easiest sell because everyone's curious about it. And you can have products that are out of your scope, like a tincture that, full disclosure, or a bath bomb or a lotion, a daily body lotion. So all of these things are opportunity for healing or for relief when they're at home, but also they are thinking about you. They're remembering you, right? So when they're applying it on, I got this great cream, and it's free marketing too. I got this great cream from my massage therapist and she really did a great job and she loved it. And oh, you did? What is it? It's this. And then you get a phone call from their friend. I need to get that cream. They come in for that passive retail item. And then, hey, maybe you should book a massage. And then boom, your business is growing. Okay. So those are just a couple things, super easy. Having a couple of smaller items too at they call it a cash wrap sale, but like the bath bombs, they're under $20. They're really easy. Impulse purchase stuff, lip. You have to also think physically. Oftentimes after a massage, I'm super stuffy. So things that smell good at the end, oils or diffusers or things like that, like think outside of the box and it has to really resonate with you and you have to believe in it. So there's a huge opportunity for those things.
I absolutely love this discussion because so many clients can be powerful brand advocates for you. For instance, if you sold, the first things that popped to mind, Ella, when you were saying this, what if you had a foam roller for sale? Those are very cheap. And you're like, you know what? Every morning I want you to wake up and do these foam rolling exercises that are going to be really helpful for you. It's really going to help align your spine, XYZ. It's going to do this. And you're right, Ella, every single time you do it, I'm going to be thinking about the practitioner who I purchased it from. Years ago when I got married, somebody gave me a starter set of knives. This is unrelated, but this is going somewhere. What was powerful about this, I was like, oh my God, what a cool gift. And they were like, you know why I did that? Because every single time you're in the kitchen, you're going to think that person bought that for me. And I do this to this day all the time. So just the power of that and the longevity of that, right? And then if you think about people being advocates for you, I'm one of those people. If I'm really into your business and what you're doing, I want to buy the coffee cup. I want to buy the t-shirt. I want to buy the products. Like I'm all in, right?
Yeah. Big fan. And there's a statistic that talks specifically about massage therapy that 90% of clients find massage. Let me repeat this because I want you all to lean in so you can hear this. 90% of clients find their massage therapist from a referral, from their friend, from their doctor. 90%. That's a huge thing. And 68% are on social media, which is still a huge statistic. But I think networking was like 17%. So where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your time as a massage professional? Are you going to go to your meetup groups once a week? You know, like, I don't want to say any names, but they have those groups, those like networking groups that you go to breakfast or whatever. Or are you going to spend this time giving amazing service? And service doesn't end at the 60 or the 90 minutes or the 75 minutes. Service continues when they go home.
Ella, what about add-on services? Should practitioners consider introducing these to a session?
Ooh, you know what? I have a very, very, very biased opinion on this. And it comes from the aesthetic world. So let me explain on the aesthetic side first. In school, we learned about add-on, right? So you're in the middle of a facial and, you can add on a lip service and you can add on an eye service. And to me, I always felt like lips and eyes were part of the face. And how could you have to add that on, right? Isn't it a facial? It never made sense to me. It did I understood where it was coming from. The model that it came from was this thing. But as a consumer, I don't want to feel taken. I want to feel cared for. Okay. So when I'm going somewhere and I have to a la carte a facial, then I'm in charge of the facial and you're not. You're the professional. I'm picking out what I'm getting, right? And maybe it's a little ego for me. As a professional, I'm going to tell you what you need. So you don't tell me you need an acne facial when your skin is dry, or you know what I'm saying? Like, let me help you. Let me give you my expertise because I'm got advanced training in the subject. And so I designed my menu in a way where it was just a flat fee. It took me years to get there, but it's a flat fee with the exception of a couple of different services, like different device assisted services, but they know what they're getting into. And my massage therapist now, same thing. Whatever I need. For example, I came to see her after traveling and I was swollen. My feet were swollen from a long flight. So she did lymphatic drainage that day. Even though I wanted some, elbow in the back stuff, she did that. What I needed that day was the lymphatic drainage, and she did some arm stuff because it wasn't in my best interests to get what I thought I wanted that day. And it was the same price and it wasn't an add-on. And, so for me, add-on services where I understand a corporate decision to have those in a lower price to lure someone in and then to raise the bar, I don't understand them from a practitioner standpoint. So I'm not sure I'm the best person to answer that question. I think you just make a flat rate. They know what to expect. You take good care of them and they're going to come back for that.
Okay, Ella, finally, can you put together some guesstimates on how much money we're talking about specifically with rebooking or retail sales?
Rebooking is a great way to build your books, but also to sustain your books. So that would depend on your demographic and what you're charging. But I guess the limit would be how many hours you're wanting to work a week. With retail sales, there's a magic number in aesthetics, and that is 1 to 3. So for every service dollar, you spend 3 retail dollars. So for the case of simplicity, $100 in service, $300 in retail. I would say for massage therapy, if you can aim at a 1-to-1 or 1-to-0.5, then you're doing pretty good. And especially as you're getting more and more comfortable with that. Understanding that that's an average, and some clients will buy $200 worth of things and some will buy $50 worth of things,
I want to thank our guest today, Ella Cressman. To find out more information about Ella, visit ellacress.com. The ABMP podcast is produced by the team at ABMP, Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals, a professional membership organization supporting massage therapists and bodyworkers. Membership includes liability insurance, free continuing education, and the award-winning Massage and Bodywork magazine. Go to abmp.com to learn more about becoming a member. Thanks, Ella, and thanks, Kristen.
Thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Ella, thanks so much for being with us for this fun crossover event and sharing all of your wisdom from your SD world with our practitioners in the massage therapy field. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Members are loving ABMP 5-Minute Muscles and ABMP Pocket Pathology, 2 quick reference web apps included with ABMP membership. ABMP 5-Minute Muscles delivers muscle-specific palpation and technique videos, plus origins, insertions, and actions for the 83 muscles most commonly addressed by bodyworkers. ABMP Pocket Pathology, created in conjunction with Ruth Werner, puts key information for nearly 200 common pathologies at your fingertips and provides the knowledge you need to help you make informed treatment decisions. Start learning today. ABMP members log in at abmp.com and look for the links in the featured benefits section of your member homepage. Not a member? Learn about these exciting member benefits at abmp.com/more.